Hi there, Dave Markham here for the Brockporter. I'm still working on the Fire District news of Brockport, Sweden, and Clarkson. This is commentary number 2, and I want to talk with you a little bit about taxes. And they say all kinds of interesting things in this thing if you read it carefully. You know, there's all these kind of innuendo on the front page when they say what the benefits of the fire district are going to be. You know, it's pretty slick. I don't know who wrote this, but you know, they are pretty good public relations people, because you know, they slip ones by you that if you aren't you know, a media critic, you know, if you're not media literate, you know, you wouldn't catch some of this stuff. And I think the critical faculties of a lot of people nowadays, you know, we're taken up with sound bites and all that stuff. Even Trustee Blackman says she can't listen to a 14-minute video. You know, she used to be a college professor. I'm sure she lectured for an hour, hour and a half, sometimes maybe 3 hours, and her poor students had to listen to her. And yet she says her attention span is not more than a minute and a half. That's what she told me. So maybe she just doesn't like me. That could be. Or she doesn't like the things I say. But at any rate, you know, if you have any media literacy, you might want to go through this thing, because they say a lot of interesting things. Right here on page 1 now, for example, they say every tax dollar collected for fire protection will be used for fire protection. Taxpayers will know that the fire tax line on their town-county tax bill will be spent for fire protection. Firefighters will be assured that they will receive the funding they've been promised. Well, that's a backhanded slam at the Village of Brockport trustees, who Clarkson and Sweden claims misspent surpluses and don't adequately fund the fire department. It's all nonsense and bogus, but you know, they're trying to you know, elicit some fear here on the part of taxpayers that you can't trust you know, the government officials to spend your money. Well, then you go to the back, and there's fast facts. And then they say, how will the new property, how will the new district be funded? Well, by property taxes, just as the current fire protection service is funded. Well, that's true, but by a new taxing entity called a fire district. That's an additional tax. It's going to show up on your tax bill in a separate line. It's not going to be part of your regular county town tax anymore, or village tax. It's going to be a separate tax. It has nothing to do with your town government or your village government. In fact, if you flip back now to page 2, you notice how we're going from page 1 to page 4 to page 2. You kind of got to go back and forth through this thing to get a picture of the real story, because here on the bottom of page 2, it says budget of the joint fire district. After the adoption of the annual budget of the Brockport Fire District, the Fire District Secretary shall deliver certified copies to the town clerks of Sweden and Clarkson and the village clerk of Brockport. Yeah, she's going to give us certified copies. Not just any old copies. These are going to be certified copies, right? So you know you're looking at the real thing. And neither the town board, supervisor, or any other officer or employee of the towns, nor the board of trustees, mayor, or any other officer or employee of the village shall make any change in this annual budget of the fire district. That's absolutely right. Even though it shows up on your town tax bill or your village tax bill, it's got nothing to do with the town or village, because this is a whole layer of government that has the power to tax you. It has nothing to do with that, so your town officials and your village officials have nothing to say about it. You know, you go back over here where they try to say that it really isn't another layer of government. Well, yes, it is. Sure it is. And you know, we'll come back to that later, but that's just another nonsense. Yeah, right here. We're back to page 4 now. It says, is this an unnecessary additional layer of government? And they say no. No, it's not. Yes, it is. They say no, it's not. We have to keep in mind that this district will serve 3 municipalities. Taxpayers across the 3 municipalities will achieve parity with that currently doesn't exist. In addition, the 2 towns already have fire protection special districts. They will be eliminated and replaced with joint district. Yes, they do have a fire protection special district, which is totally different than a fire district. A fire protection special district is not another layer of government. That's a contract between a town and a village or a city to provide fire protection services. But when you create a fire district, it has its own commissars, and they have the power to tax you. And yes, I mean, they're directly lying to you. I can't get over that. Is this an unnecessary additional layer of government? No. We have to keep in mind that this district will serve 3 municipalities. Well, yeah, it's like county government. I mean, it's a district that's going to cut across 3 municipalities, but the way it operates and the authority and power it has is because it's a special layer of government. I don't know. You know, it's 1984 doublespeak again. These guys are talking out of both sides of their mouth. It's just nonsense. But, you know, the bottom line here is that when the fire district is formed, if it is formed, 5 commissars are going to have the power to tax you. They get to develop their own budget and levy their own tax. Has nothing to do with your town officials or your village officials. They can do whatever they want to do. 5 people that get elected one at a time every year for 5 years. There is no accountability whatsoever. So, you know, if you read through here and you compare what's on the first page with what's on the fourth page, what's on the inside on the second page, you find all these internal contradictions. They're saying, no, it's not another level of government. Yes, it is another level of government. And they do have the power to tax you, and you can't do anything about it. And it's going to show up on your town tax bill. And no, that's totally different than your town taxes, which now include a certain portion of your town property taxes for fire protection. But now you're going to have a whole different thing going on where you got a whole other entity that gets to do that. Your town government's not going to do that anymore. So this is just nonsense. And this idea that fire protection will be used, money will be used for fire protection. You know, you got the fox in charge of the hen house here. They want a new truck, they're going to vote themselves a budget that's got a new truck. They want a new building, they're going to vote themselves a building that's going to be a new building for you. If they can't get out the volunteers, they're going to vote to hire paid firemen, you know, and you can't do a darn thing about it, not anything. Nope. Go down, talk to the mayor, talk to your village trustee, it's out of their hands. Go talk to your supervisor, your town councilman, it's out of their hands. Talk to people in county government, it's out of their hands. Talk to your state assemblyman and state senator, it's out of their hands. All the power to do all that is given to 5 commissars. 5 commissars. So I encourage you to read this carefully, you know, and, you know, put your media literacy hat on. The person that wrote this is very good. I mean, but they're selling you a bad bill of goods here. All right, that's it for number 2, commentary number 2, and I'll see you again shortly with commentary number 3. So it's Dave Markham for the Brockporter. Peace.